Hello, Dr. Jeanette Raymond here with my fourth series in this video about why you picked the wrong partner and how to get out of the habit of doing so on a continual basis, which just upsets you and makes you feel like there's something wrong with you or that life is not treating you as it treats everybody else. So we talked about how picking the wrong partner can make you feel powerful. It's a very familiar thing. It makes you feel like you can actually create the change and create exactly the right partner by molding and shaping them. And the excitement it gives you when it's not so easy and you really don't know if it's going to happen. So today I'm going to tell you how to get out of that trap of looking for the power, the excitement, and the familiarity of what isn't right and trying to make it so. First thing is to think about the way in which you imagine and envision a relationship. I usually find with the people that I've helped with these sorts of problems that their view of relationships is kind of very rigid. It doesn't change, it doesn't evolve. Once it's there, it stays static and you have to keep it like that. And that kind of makes it mummified and petrified, and all it can do is rot. It can't get any better, but it can just rot and crumble and becomes untenable. So the first thing to do is to think about relationships as living things. They're co-creations. You create a living relationship with your partner. They don't do all the work. You don't do all the work. It's something you do together on a minute-to-minute, hour-by-hour, day-to-day basis. And it will ebb and flow. It will change. It will develop. It will deepen. And it will be enriching. That's the first step, to make it elastic, to make it limitless, rather than try to keep it in a very particular way, in a very particular time, because then you're just acting on fear and trying to stop it from changing, and then you're going to kill it, because without the oxygen of new things and new experiences, any relationship will die. The second thing is to imagine the relationship as something that evolves over time and that it needs to adapt to whatever you're experiencing in your life situations. So if you met your partner a year ago and everything was fine and now it's changing and it's not looking so good, well, it has to adapt and change. If it tries to be the same thing it was a year ago when you're not the same and your partner's not the same and your life situation is not the same, then it's not serving you well. So one of the mistakes that people make is to try to make it go back to the way it was, instead of trying to make something fresh and new and adaptive and flexible and ready to support you no matter what happens on either side. The third thing is to accept that you can't just keep one good moment, a little gold nugget, and try to put it in a kind of case like it's in a museum and then keep going back to it and saying, oh, how nice, how nice, how nice, and trying to get it. Because those feelings come and go. You can't feel good all the time, nor are you going to feel bad all the time. You can't feel good without the bad, and you can't feel bad without the good. It's really about supporting each other when times are down and when times are good. You share. It's about sharing. And I think a lot of the people that I work with don't get that idea because they weren't exposed to that when they were growing up. They usually had to do all the work. They usually had to fix everything, try to be good, try to win over a loved one, which is usually a parent who doesn't do what you want or who threatens you or who has conditional love, so that you grow up thinking the same thing. So when you're in a relationship and you want it to work for you, you really have to think about being more flexible, that people are living, breathing objects. They're not vending machines that you put a coin in and you put this in and you get it out, because that's what a lot of the heartbreak is about. So many of my clients say, look what I did for her. Look what I did for him. I did this and this and this, and I sacrificed that, and I was not selfish and I thought only of them. Well, it's not about what you do and what you don't do. It's not a piggy bank where you put some money in and then you smash it when you want the money and take it out again. It's not like that. It's about sharing feelings and experiences and commingling and helping each other build those emotional muscles of strength. And then the last thing is really about thinking of relationships as something that is going to fulfill you as a person. It's not just about, am I getting the person to do what I want and be what I want in the time that I want? Are they making up for all my past hurts? Are they going to do it to me again? It's not about someone winning or losing. It's not about victory and defeat. And it's not about success or failure. It's about learning to live together and managing all those emotions together. Many of my clients say, I don't like all those feelings of emotions being mixed up. I just want the good stuff and I don't want the bad. Well, you know what? That's really impossible, because we have all sorts of feelings and they're good guides and they help us take the next step. It's about joining with your partner and being flexible and moving with them in time and they with you. It's not about you doing all the work or them doing all the work. It's something together. It's sharing. And here's what one of my clients suddenly discovered after working with me for a while. She said to me, when I described exactly what I just described to you, she said, oh, so you're telling me to look for different qualities in men. And I said, I'm not telling you to look for different qualities. What I'm suggesting is that you think of it more as a shared experience. Whereas what she was thinking about, well, I'll do everything I can, and then if it doesn't work, it's not my fault anymore. She didn't want the responsibility of feeling like she did something to make the relationship fail. But what she really wanted was for her partner to do everything for her and make up for all the things that she didn't have as a kid in terms of feeling wanted and special and important and valuable. And one more thing I want to add, this is so important for all of you who feel like you keep getting attracted to the wrong partner. Sometimes, if you're in that place, what you want is to be adored. You don't want empathy and sharing, you just want to be adored because you didn't get that when you were a kid. And this is what makes relationships not work. You can't be adored because then something is happening to you. It's not a relationship where it's mix and match and you do and they do and you co-create. That's being grown up. If you just want to be adored, and only that, not just be adored as part of the relationship, then your relationships are never going to work and you're always going to feel let down. And then you look for another person and another person and another person that you can mold and shape and create to adore you, and then you're done. So remember all the things I've said. It's about evolving and changing and adapting. It's about mixing and matching and sharing. It's about empathy, not adoration. And it's about changing the rules of how you think about relationships. They're not mummified in time and hanging on to gold nuggets. It's about moving with the flow and enriching and deepening your relationship by keeping that movement going so that it adapts to where you were, rather than trying to make it something that you had in the past and keeping it there. So I hope this is useful to you. I would be really delighted to hear what you think, what your experiences are, and how these sets of videos have helped you.